Poltergeist, murder and oppression await the most haunted team in Suffolk. Both visitors to and residents of this property regularly report full-body apparitions, feelings of nausea and oppression, as well as acts of poltergeist activity. With all this in mind, I just had to bring you to Somerleyton Hall. 8 miles west of Lowestoft lies this beautiful and breathtaking family home. On land that has been inhabited since 1240, the early Victorian hall may have taken 7 years to build, but the final outcome was well worth the wait. A popular Suffolk tourist trap for well over a century, the sprawling land that surrounds is the perfect complement to the main building. And in its main clock tower, we have one of Britain's best-kept secrets. For had its design not been deemed too elaborate and expensive, then this would have been stood on the banks of the River Thames instead of Big Ben.
The present building only goes back to about 1844, when a gentleman called Sir Morton Peto actually purchased the property. He was an industrialist, a builder, and he is the man that was responsible for building the Houses of Parliament, and he even built Nelson's Column. He rebuilt this place and referred to it as his paradise on earth. But unfortunately, in the 1860s, he went bankrupt in a very big way and had to sell the house to the Crossley family from Yorkshire. Both the Crossleys and the Petos, or should I say at least their ghosts, still seem to think that they both own this place.
Along these corridors, footsteps and whispers are heard, and servant bells ring for no apparent reason. But it's this room, room number 7, that holds a mystery all of its own. So many staff and guests have had strange experiences around and in the room, so much so that it's been locked for 20 years. And tonight, we're going to open it.
There's the ghost on the staircase, believed to be a lady called Martha, who was the mother of Francis Crossley. Her husband died here, and she is often seen wandering down the stairs and collapsing in the hallway in tears, obviously mourning the death of her husband.
This is a first for our ghost hunting team, a haunted maze. Imagine being lost here in the dead of night and bumping into a large, dark figure that is said to lurk here. Or hearing children playing when there's no one there. Where do you run when you're lost? Undoubtedly, we'll find out tonight.
This is in the main bedroom at the end of the corridor on the first floor. On the bed I've got 2 trigger objects and an EMF meter recording and data logging continuously.
And with so much ground to cover, parapsychologist Kieran O'Keefe's additional experiments may just prove essential to this investigation.
Are you looking forward to tonight? Do you think this is an impressive place to investigate?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and it is very impressive. Also because we've got this level here where everything is done up as it might have even been 100, 200 years ago. We've got the cellar down below, which is quite damp, it's quite dark. And then upstairs in the servants' quarters, it's very derelict. Creaky wooden floorboards. So you're getting a very different experience depending on which level of the house you're in.
Have you picked up anything that's unusual?
Yeah, the most unusual thing is actually focused on the main staircase behind us. There have been a number of reports, not just of an apparition, but also people have had feelings, like very, very emotional feelings. I think even a few witnesses have actually cried in this particular location. And normally when I'm walking around with the EMF meter, I'm looking for if there's any variability, that sort of thing. I didn't pick anything up on EMF, But when just focusing on electrical field, it jumped, basically. We're looking at a jump from about 2 up to about 5. And normally what you'd expect is for it to stay around 1 or 2. And the interesting thing is that we're looking at this area of the staircase where there's no electrical supply, there's nothing that should be causing that naturally.
So what do you put it down to?
I still don't know. I'm willing to hold up my hand and say, I don't know what the cause of it is.
Our cameras had only just begun to roll, yet this location was already posing some intriguing and possibly inexplicable questions. And once Derek Okora and David Wells had both separately arrived at our secret location, we could eagerly begin our investigation at Somerleyton Hall.
As we walk into this energy here now, into this area, I would just say that there's a young child that's up and down this passageway all the time, and a really lovely little child, a little girl. She had what? Smallpox. Smallpox. And, oh, look, yeah, just here.
Yeah.
Just here. And it's like as if she's turned around, she's looking through the window. She gets up and she looks through the window. It's like as if she's looking out the window. She's looking to see who's coming in. The only way I can describe, she runs up and down here, and you'd hear her feet. You know, little feet.
Who is she then?
Who is she, Sam? Now she's she belongs to the lady. The lady. Who's the lady? She was the lady of the house. The lady of the house. I think this goes back. Go on, give me that date. This goes back to 1678.
Okay.
1678.
Is that when she died, do you think?
I feel that must have been the time, yes.
Right.
I feel she wouldn't have been, when she left her physical, she wouldn't have been any older than maybe 4 or 5.
So she's little then,
yeah. Little one, yeah. But I feel, although she's little, I feel quite tall for that age. So appearance... appearance that she made to the eyes look older, but that's all she was. And something happened. Someone brought the smallpox here, and it was in some way transferred.
To
the little one caught it.
Any names with her?
Can you give me that name, please? Can you give me the name of the little girl? Something like Eleanor. Eleanor. Yeah, she goes, she spends a lot of time here, but she's up and down. But for some reason, she stays away from this room.
Right, why
I don't
would
feel
she
she goes in there.
Why?
I don't know yet. Can we just go in there?
Let's go and have a...
Can we just go in? I feel that this room, as we come into this atmosphere here, can be a hive of physical and spiritual phenomena in this room, caused by, not residual energy, but by a spirit person being actually here, you know, either visiting or could even be grounded. I can't really be sure about this, but I get this, like, as we come in, this feeling of movement, of a person moving round, and agitated, like an agitation.
What, male, female?
At this moment, I feel that this one who comes in here is a male, and he... I feel he has different attitudes at times. It's like as if at one moment there's like a calm with him, and then next month there's this